Okay.
Go for it.
Welcome, everyone. I'm kind of scrolling through, just seeing who's all on. Super excited. Out of the majority of you that are on, most of you are going to Dallas, and I'm super excited to see you guys next week. Two things that I'm going to share for either people that are staying home or even team members that you have that are not going. Get them into activity mode while our cheeks are in seats. Your weekly paycheck will thank you, okay? So make sure that your team is getting samples out. They're doing the sit downs. If they need three-way calls, we're going to be limited to what we can do. But if it's like live or die, you know, we rarely will pass down a three-way call. So get them in motion. And from there, those of you that are going, plan your, I know tomorrow I'm traveling, but plan your days that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we get back. Make sure that you are packed filled with either sit downs or people that you have on the fence that you're like, hey, let's get together so I can fill you in on everything that went on at conference, new product, new countries, blah, blah, blah. We're excited when you're sending out that message. That's what I would do just to fill up that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then my David Bird is like, rest on Thursday. Your natural human instinct is to chill out Monday, Sunday, and Monday because we're tired. If you can go into activity mode that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll rest on Thursday together. We'll just call it a big fat day of rest. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would do. And you will be the most excited, even though you'll be tired. I'd rather you work and be tired and be excited than anything. You can always, invest in Red Bull for Pete's sakes. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, pack that schedule, even though you're going to be a little, snoozy. It'll be fine because you're going to be more excited then than you will be later on at the end of the week, because that's just how we are wired up. So all that, and then anybody that's not going, just get them rocking and rolling and moving. I know for me, I'm super excited. I have notebooks available for yourself, pack snacks. I kind of ran around like a crazy woman today. So I even had my husband going to the store and grabbing snacks for me. So if I borrow any of your food, it's just because I didn't like what he bought me. No, I already looked it over. It's fine. I'm going to be in a meeting all day on Wednesday. So I'm super excited to just kind of hear what's going to be coming down the pipeline. I like to get the information ahead of time because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. And I need to get the information up front so I can process it, figure it out, and go, oh, that's what they're doing. So I'll know a little bit more information ahead of you guys, but not by much. There's going to be great announcements. More than anything, this is what I want to challenge you to, and this is what David Bird has taught us to do. Every single session, whether it's a testimonial or it is somebody's training on product prospecting or whatever. I haven't had a chance to watch Miriam Yu yet tonight, but I heard it was absolutely phenomenal. So if you haven't watched that yet, get on and watch that. One thing I will say, between every session that we have at the conference, please, please, please take away one thing, and make sure you jot it down, highlight it, bold, capitals, whatever, because you're going to be inundated with information and you're going to forget a lot of it unless you jot it down. So make sure that you're taking notes, jotting everything down. And when there's an announcement made and you're not 100% sure, just be patient. We'll get you. I know I'm going to be having, and for those of you that are like team leaders, let me know where you're going to be. Like I know I'm with Kate's team Friday night. We'll probably throw in a couple more of you. We're going to be at TGI Friday night. Let me know where you're at, because it's not uncommon for me to pop up at 3 different restaurants in one night because I want to see all of your faces, because now I'm really long distance to all y'all except a couple. So let me know where you're at. Stay in communication with me. And I'm just super excited to be there. The energy in that arena will be electric. And from there, the knowledge that we're all going to be able to just walk away from, we're getting trained from the best. Not only that, but like I said, the motivation, my very first conference, the big takeaway from the whole conference, I was more soaking everything in than I felt like in learning mode, because I still hadn't made up my mind if I wanted to be a part of this crazy place. And my biggest takeaway was learn to tell stories. So when you are in the hallway, when you are in the store, the Nerium store, when you are in, look at people's name tags, find out where they're from, see what their rank is, ask them what their story is. I became a collector of stories. I learned Danny's story. I learned Anna Woodward's story, Anna Camp's story. I learned all these people's stories. So if I went and I talked with someone that I knew somewhat related with their story, guess what old girl was doing? I was telling them Anna Camp's story. I was telling them Anna Woodward's story. So this is a great time for you to rub shoulders with people that are not in your area and get to know their story. Remember it, jot it down. I always took notes. That was the first thing, is learn to tell stories. People don't want to buy things from anyone when they feel like they're being sold something. But if you're telling them a story, it's a little easier for them to just, one, relate to it. Their walls go down. And three, it keeps their interest in, and they're a little more intrigued. Oh, wait, you mean nurses? Nurses do what you do? Absolutely. I did game plans with 3 nurses back to back this last week. And they all had the same why. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge about nurses and their cute little occupations. They're not easy. So if you know any other nurses, those are the stories that you need to be sharing. And we've got some great ones on our team too. So we're going to do a little bit of training. Kate's going to take it away. We're going to be talking about transitioning into 3-way calls and sit downs and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to let Kate do that, and then I'm going to go and wrap it up. I've got a little something I want to share with you. So take it away, Stevens.
Hey guys. So any of you nurses, I had to Google why my eye won't stop twitching today. And it said I need to sleep more and stop drinking caffeine. And I'm like, Google, you are hilarious, because neither of those are happening. So if any of you nurses have my eye won't stop twitching and I can't even handle it. So, okay, I got to go back to the gallery so I can see y'all. This is my life, people. I need my own reality show. Okay, so after talking to many of you and just kind of doing game plans, and just from what I know about my own team and kind of anyone that I've talked to in Nerium, sit downs and transitioning to that 3-way call seem to be that first little hiccup where once you've got it, you've got it. But until you feel confident, it can be a little scary. Thanks, Tara. Tara says it's too much stress with my eye. I just think it's too much caffeine. We'll see. But getting into that 3-way call can be super intimidating at first until you really can wrap your head around it. So I'm going to tell you how I started doing sit downs into 3-way calls, and I will let Tanya interrupt if she has anything to say, because I know how I started was a little unconventional. But if you know anything about me, you know I like to move quickly because I am busy, just like all of you are. And I think, why stretch out an exposure for months on months if we can compress the time frame for all of you? So how I used to do sit downs, and this is how I built my team. So my first month, I didn't even know you could FSQ. I didn't know you should get a team, not because Tanya didn't try and tell me. I just didn't answer this stinking phone because did not start well.
She would not answer my calls, people.
Whoops. I still saved her message as a reminder that could have gone very wrong. That could have been ugly. But anyway, I got started, had a bunch of customers, and Tanya and Brittany both were saying, you need a team. And I was like, well, I don't really know how to do that. And they said, get us on the phone. Well, I didn't know really how to do that, but if you tell me to do something, I'll do it, even if I don't know the steps. It may not be gorgeous. It may not be a beautifully choreographed thing, but it will happen. So I'm going to help you kind of learn from my mistakes. Be natural no matter what you do. That's the first step. Neither of us are going to type you out a script of what to say, because that will not help you. It will sound awkward and your prospects will run away from you. So how I got started with sit downs is, a lot of you are already doing the beginning of this, is just taking your bottles out to people. So you're posting on Facebook, you're sending out the feedback frenzy text message of, will you try product, right? And so once they agree to try product, if there's someone you can sit down with, ideally you will meet up with them. Now, if they live further away, we're going to have to get creative, but we can do this. But say it's your neighbor down the street. You're like, okay, fine. So I'm going to bring you product. What day works? They're going to pinpoint that day and time. I want you to text someone in your upline. I don't care if I'm not in your upline. You can text me too. See who's available for part of that sit down. And then before you leave for that sit down, text them the Nerium Experience Sizzle video And I do this because it's the little one, it's short. I'm a hand talker. I might be a closet Italian. I don't know. But it's the short video. So Miriam experienced sizzle. It's about 2 minutes. And if they can't watch that in the 2 minutes it takes you to get there, come on. Yes, they can. So have them watch it while you drive there, walk there, whatever you need to do. And if they don't, let them watch it while they're waiting for their eye serum to dry because you're going to put eye serum on them. And then what I used to do, and like I said, Tanya can backfill on this one, but what I used to do is you can tell certain people are just more excited about everything. Those people that have that little bit of excitement, I'm like, okay, I'm putting them on the phone just to see what happens. So they've already seen the video. They've tried product. And you're leaving a night cream for them to try for the next week. So that's 3 exposures, and it's been what? 5 minutes? Then what I used to do is I would say, you know what? Before you use this on your face, I want you to know.
I'm going to.
Huh?
When my phone is done getting a little charged.
Someone is not muted. I got you. I will mute you. Okay, we're muted. I was like, huh? Anyway, what I would do is say, you know what? I want you to hear about the company and where this product comes from before you put it on your face. And I would say, because you probably want to know what it is if you're going to put it on your skin, right? Well, of course, they're going to be like, yeah, because they would sound horrible if they didn't care, right? So I would put it in their court and just say, you know, I want you to hear about the company, because I was smart enough to do what Tanya did as well, and I knew stories. And I knew in her story she talks about the company. So I didn't say, hey, let's talk to my friends, you can sell this with me. No, I just said I want you to hear about the company so you know what you're using. Because people look at that little bottle of night cream like it's a lot more valuable when they realize it was created to cure skin cancer first. They do. It puts a lot more validity on that. I think one of my kids is coming to pick the lock. I can hear the door. That's going to be problematic. But anyway, then what I would do is obviously I would call Tanya or Tennille or Brittany or whoever the case may be, and I would put them on speakerphone. And I'd be like, Tanya, I'm at my friend Amy's house. She's watched the video. She tried the eye serum. Like, she is going to be so excited. She will love this product, but she had to hear your story. Amy, this is my friend Tanya. She's amazing. She's successful. She's hilarious. Like, you have got to hear her story. That's it. I didn't ask her if it was okay. I didn't say, I want you to hear about the business opportunity. No, because that's awkward. Just give them the information. Let them hear a story. And don't be tied to the results. So once they had heard Tanya, I was so excited because I knew this was going to be my way out of teaching. Bless all the teachers out there. I was ready to be done. So I was like, this is how I'm going to get to stay home, Amy. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, well, you just heard Tanya's story, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, girl, this is going to be amazing. You're going to love the product. And then I would say, I don't know if it's something you'd be interested in, but if you ever are, sorry, time out. Time out. Hi, I'm back. My 7-year-old is a little attached. Gosh, darn it. So anyway, what I would do is do that. Oh, I'm like hot from trying not to get mad. I would ask them, you know, kind of if they were open to anything like that. What I have found is my excitement paired with an expert story. They're usually thinking about it enough that while they're using the product, they're making a list. The month I kind of paid attention and did sit downs every time I dropped off product and put the excited people, the people who just had that little bit of, they seem more interested than most. I put them on a call. I had 4 brand partners in 1 month. That's not because I'm special. It's because I was excited and I just kept turning on the phone and being like, here, you should hear my friend. Oh my gosh, wasn't she awesome? That's all I did. And they're using the product for a week after they've heard all of that information. So you're basically dripping on them for an entire week because they've heard all of it. So that's kind of how I did it. And then I would check in. Do not wait till the end of 7 days, please. But I would check in probably day 1 or 2. And I'm like, so did you sleep last night? Because obviously not if they're excited about Nerium. And then, you know, they would say, oh my gosh, I was talking to my husband. I'm totally doing it. I'm like, okay, start your list. Or they'll give you some kind of a key as to kind of where they're at. But don't wait until day 7 to check in. Check in like day 1 or 2, you know, and keep being excited. Don't act like they're going to shoot you, for heaven's sakes. Don't be like, what do you think? Is it going okay? Of course it's going okay. We have the best product out there. So, oh my gosh, what do you love? Are you loving it? My skin felt so great. What do you think? You know, and if you don't have this kind of ADD energy that I have, drink some coffee, you'll be great. Just be excited because you're sharing product with anyone and everyone, and you will find the diamonds that are meant to join your business. You 100% will every single time. And it may not be right away, but you're going to find people who get you there. So be excited no matter what. And I've told a lot of you when we were doing game plans, I don't care if I sold toothpaste. I would act like it was the best thing ever. Because if it's going to get me home with my kids, or if it's going to get you whatever your why is, it's worth being excited about. We don't care about the outcome. We care about the activity. And that will in turn get you to what you want from this business. But a lot of people were talking about, well, I'm doing sit downs, but I'm not necessarily getting anyone on the phone. And sometimes you'll do a sit down where you can tell it's probably not going anywhere. You know, they're trying product and they're like, yep, I want to order, you know, and that's the thing where you can ask them, you know, I know you love the eye serum. You're excited to order. There's an amazing business attached. You know, can I share some info with you? And if they're like, no, be like, hey, awesome. I hope you love the product, because you need customers. We don't want everyone to join our teams because then we lose the opportunity. But if you are giving yourself the chance of putting people on calls with us, if they want to do this, they will. And the reason I'm saying this to you is some of you know my story. Some of you don't. I'm not going to tell the whole thing. We don't have time. But I wanted to order the Nerium firm. That's it. I was not interested in business. I was not interested in adding anything to my plate. You just saw my child walk in the room. Like, we clearly are up to our eyeballs in nonsense in this house. I was not looking for anything extra. I messaged my friend about firm. She asked if she could call me because it was too much stuff to type out. And I was like, seriously? Can I just order it? She goes, no, I just need to tell you a little bit and then you can get it. And I was like, oh, great. So she puts me on the phone and she's like, this is my friend Tanya. And I was like, are you kidding me? Now she put me on with a stranger? Like, awesome. Okay. But by the end of that phone call, I knew I needed to be here. If she would not have used an expert, do you think I would be part of this company? Nope, I sure wouldn't. So the number one thing that got me here where I am today is 3-way calls. That's as far as getting me in the business. Everyone I brought into my team has been on a 3-way call. Every single one. Even if it's like, if they're like, I'm signing up, let's go. I'm like, hold on, I need you to talk to Tanya. Or I need you to talk to Tennille, because I want every single person to use calls, because that makes this business easy. It makes us all be able to do the same things. So I've used 3-way calls always. Every single person from my team that's on this Zoom has probably been on a 3-way call, whether it's, you know, when they were using product or when we were picking up the bottle. And I'm looking at faces. Anne, who's on here, she's a kindergarten teacher. Bless her heart. And she put me on a 3-way call when she picked up a sample yesterday. And the girl was a little hard to read. I couldn't really tell what she was thinking. But then Anne said, yeah, she's making her list. I was like, whoa, okay. But it's because she put her on a call that she heard a different story than just Anne. So I think there's tons of merit to this. Sit downs are amazing. But what I would tell you, if you all want to maximize your time in this 90-day run, don't make it harder. Don't add extra to your plate. Get your bottles out. Do a sit down while you're getting bottles out. And let one of us, you know, share some information with your prospects. Now, if your prospect has not seen anything and they're completely uninterested, please don't put us on the phone. Okay, because that could be awkward. So just make it gradual. Don't surprise people. But I always just say, I want you to hear about the company before you use the product. Hold on a minute. And I call. They don't know that we don't do that every time. They may think that we do that every time we drop off the bottle.
Share with you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever read The Tripping Point. Our own David Bird wrote it, and he's amazing. Write this down. Accountability pushes you beyond your self-imposed limitations. There is nothing worse, especially in this business, but in life in general, because people ask me what I do. I actually say I develop leaders. I retire people and I develop leaders. We happen to be, it's a skincare vehicle, but we're developing leaders because you will get paid. Now, and I learned this from Mark Smith, you will get paid at the level of problems you can solve in a month. You can, if you solve little problems or very few problems, your check will be little. If you can solve big problems and a lot of problems, your check will be big. A lot of people ask me, what kind of training, did you have, and, would you recommend for me? Read, become a sponge. When you are in the stadium this next week, I went to my very first conference. I knew within 5 minutes of her talking that she was who I wanted to model my business after. It was Anna Woodward. She was it. And she was a class act. She knew what she was doing. She was very, very successful. I went and sought her out, like probably borderline weird. But I wanted to pick her brain. Like I wanted to just talk to her and say, so how did you do it? And what would be your piece of information? She's just like, do not be discouraged by what people do not see. We obviously see something that other people don't see. Do not get discouraged when you don't find as many people as you want that don't see what you see, if that makes any sense. And that little bit of just encouragement and that little, I don't know, one-liner for me took me a long way. One, because I kind of put her on a little bit of a pedestal. And if you guys are new to the company, don't know anything about Anna Woodward, when she starts speaking, you're going to go, oh yes, that's the one. And she's just a class act and she's a boss. I mean, she battled cancer this year. Like she's had sitting at 5-star and absolutely rocking it. So nothing is worse than sitting at a constant state of potential. You possess an infinite supply of potential. However, to reach that reserve, you must overcome your self-imposed limitations. If you are aware of it or not, just by our natural human wire up, we put limits on ourselves. And 90% of it is all up here. We put limits on ourselves. This accountability call and this training, because I know, like, I'm staring at the Fusinatos right now. Hey, y'all. But they work very heavily with Terry Bloom. And Terry Bloom's a phenomenal leader. He's probably on the Zoom right now. He's a phenomenal leader. But if all they heard, okay, or let's say diet. Let's say the only thing you ate, and it's a great thing to eat, was broccoli. Broccoli for breakfast, broccoli for lunch, broccoli for dinner. How great is broccoli going to do for you 3 weeks into Broccoli Fest? Well, probably not so great. You probably will never get your 2-a-day because you'll be in the bathroom all the time. But all that to say, variety is good. And so you want to have other people speaking into your life, training you. That's why these calls are phenomenal. But hopefully we are going to allow you guys to be able to get past your self-imposed limitations. The very essence of life is the passionate commitment to strive for a better tomorrow. Accountability pushes you beyond your self-imposed limitations. If you want to be something tomorrow that you are not today, you need to develop your untapped potential. And that's exactly what this accountability call is going to do. So if there are certain things, listen to this, natural talent such as size, speed, strength, and intelligence is nothing more than untapped potential. And there is one ingredient required of the gifted athlete in order to develop that potential. It's accountability. Accountability is huge. I hit director, and from there I was accountable every single week for every exposure, every bottle out, every sit down, every RRP my team had. Guys, and this isn't genius. This is just the more BPs you have, the more RRPs you'll have. The more RRPs you have, the quicker to NMD you will get. That is the formula. The more BPs you have will give you more RRPs. The more RRPs you have will get you to NMD, because you will RRP your way to NMD. I RRP'd my way to Lexus, and I saw explosive growth after I hit that 10-week mark. Next month was ED, sat at ED for 2 months, hit regional, sat at regional for 2 months, hit NMD. That quickly. But it was because we RRP'd our face off. I didn't stop long enough to eat 2 sprinkled donuts and cheer that I was regional, because all I could taste was that $50,000 bonus. Little obsessive, yes. I would not lie to you, because I ate, slept, breathed. What can I do today to make my team better? What can I do today to develop more leaders underneath me? Because really, and who was I talking to? Was it Kate? Hey, Kate, are you back on, dude? Kate, did you make it back on?
Yeah.
Yes. She gone. Oh, hey, will you share when we were at the Mexico? No, it was your last regional, and the couple that shared the numbers of how they got to NMD. Could you share those with everyone real quick?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Do you remember what I'm talking about? Yeah, go for it, dude.
Okay. So, and I think I shared it with a few of you last time, but when Sherry and Mary Beth, you'll see them walk stage in Dallas, getting their bonus because they hit NMD. So you'll see that. They made a list of all the people they'd personally sponsored, and I want to say it was like 40 something. From that 40, they have 19 to 20 who are basically customers. They have an ADO, that's it, nothing else. They have about 15 that might have a BP or two. They've got some customers. So they're working, but they're not 2 feet in the boat. They have 5 people total who are 2 feet in the boat of their 40 that they've brought in, and they're sitting at NMD. So it doesn't take a village of superpowers. It just takes an army of consistency.
I love that because it makes it real life. I think I hit NMD and my numbers were low. Honestly, and I did this a lot of game plans this last week. Anybody that has, and maybe you're just thinking Lexus. Maybe you're just thinking Lexus. If you want a Lexus, then you need to sponsor personally. I would say at least 10, maybe 12. If you want to be NMD, you need to personally sponsor 21 is your goal. 21 is your goal. That's the average. 7 BPs for leg 1, 7 BPs for leg 2, 7 BPs for leg 3. You need 3 runners to get to NMD. Now they did it with 5, which, I mean, that's crazy now, but you may have to recruit 21 people to get 3 runners. You got to get that. And some people get really discouraged because like, I've recruited 6 people and I've only got 1 person that's really running. I'm like, actually, that's the odds. Like, that's just people. Well, no, I just think it's that I'm not very good at this. And I go, here's the thing. If Anna Woodward gets people that jump on board with Miriam at 1,000 or 500 or whatever, and they go into the witness protection program, what makes us think that we're going to be any different? We're not. So, not that I expect it, but I create a low bar of expectation for any of the brand partners that I bring on. I know their potential. I see their potential. I totally know. They probably don't, I think, see their limits like they probably feel their limits, because really your limits are only fear. It's all up here. Your limits are just here. There's nothing tangible around us that limits you. It's you. So that's what you have to keep in mind. But if you can get a leader, and I would say that I've really had the joy of being that for a lot of you, is being able to see you as you are, not as you are currently, standing. There are so many of you that have this untapped potential that you're sitting on. And if you could just get through just that barrier of fear mentally and know, okay, man, 5, and I'm not even saying Miriam ninjas like Kate Stevens or Brittany Frisella. I'm not saying even 5 ninjas. I hit NMD without any ninjas. There wasn't one. But I had a bunch of just steady eddies that didn't want to give up and that were just going to stay at it. And that doesn't mean that anyone that was in my organization when I hit NMD were, nincompoops. They're all awesome. I've got a ton of them that are still in my organization that were in my very first run. So, and they're phenomenal. They're Lexus earners. They're working towards a regional. They all have their different goals and they all have their different paces. I was on a 3-way call with one of you last month, and there's a young prospect, and she was just like, so Tanya, how long have you been in the business? And I told her, and she's like, how many brand partners have you sponsored? And I told her, I think to date it's like 40. Okay. And then the other brand partner that got me on the phone with her, the prospect said, so how many brand partners have you brought into the business? And the brand partner said 3. And the girl goes, well, how long have you been in the business again? I wanted to rip through that line and strangle this girl. And she's like, oh, so Tanya, you've brought in 40 in 3 years. And the girl, I'm not going to say her name, it only did 3. When we got off that phone, I said, 1, she showed her major immaturity. Who asks that? Like, really? And I go, not just this. I said, everybody has a different pace in this. This brand partner's no worse or better than anybody else. Your business is your business. So if you are not concerned about 6-figure income, you're not concerned about $50,000 bonus, then don't worry about 21 BPs. But if you're thinking, I really want to get a Lexus, you are going to have enough brand partners that are going to throw enough RRPs and sit downs, because a sit down is just as effective as an RRP. I love one-on-one. I just love one-on-one with people. Dallas can sometimes overwhelm me. If you notice, I'll always grab you and try to pull you away and have a little one-on-one conversation with you, because that's where I do best. Not everybody's like that, but that's my strength. So I love the one-on-one. So maybe you didn't have an RP, but you had a great sit down. Great. But just know every RP and every sit down is going to get you closer to those BPs that you need, which are going to give you RPs, which are going to give you NMD. So keep it simple. But like Kate said, they hit NMD with 5 BPs that ran. I mean, how many did they recruit total? Kate, do you remember the number on that?
I think it was like 40, 43.
Okay.
But they joined, he was a Lexus earner under her. And then when they got married, they
combined.
Yeah.
Okay. So those of you who are single that are going to Dallas, I want you to be aware that if you decide to marry another Neriamite, you guys got to combine your businesses. So there's no 2 businesses. You're 2 become 1 in Neriam. And that's only for those of you that are single. If you're married, hands off. You can hang out with me at the white party. Anything else, Kate, that you feel like we need to add? My goal for you guys is I do not want you to stay in that constant state of potential. Nothing is worse. Nothing is worse with having that burning desire in your belly and you're sitting there at Senior Brand. No time for that. That's where you pull out your notes and you take copious notes over Dallas, and you walk away with a bigger fire, 1, but 2, the knowledge to back it up. And then you get an expert on the phone. I'm telling you, every single time, the more 3-way calls you do, the more brand partners we can get for you. The 3-way calls work. That's how I built my organization, is through 3-way calls. And there's a series of events that happened before the 3-way call, but Kate told you how to transition to that 3-way call. The more 3-way calls you do, the bigger your organization will be. And I've had other NMDs call me and say, how do you get your team to 3-way call? Well, I said, I give them that fear of loss. Here's the thing. You're not going to build your team without it. You're just not. Your prospects need to see that there are other people in your organization that are, 1, willing to help you, and 2, have success. People want to link arms with people that have success. So many people jump on board in these businesses with people that don't even know how to spell the product that they're selling, or don't even really know what they're selling. They want to see success. So that's where you get somebody with a bigger story than you on. That doesn't mean that we're like awesome sauce. I'm not, but I want them to see that, 1, this is how we do the business. It's easy. All you got to do is get an expert on the line. Well, I can do that. A monkey can do a 3-way call. And then from there, let's sign these bad boys up. But Kate, anything you want to add on those? Hopefully you guys are taking notes and this is all good for you. Tennille's husband's grandfather is actually in the process of passing away. So Tennille's kind of on the ledge, on the fence. She just texted me a few minutes ago whether she's even going to be able to come to Dallas. She's actually spending the night tonight with the grandmother and the grandpa because she doesn't like to be alone with him. So we're kind of playing that by ear as to what she ends up doing. So if you have a second, say a prayer for them. And his name is Tom, and that's going to be hard for everybody. So just want to, you guys want to do a little Q&A, or how do you feel about it? Anybody have anything they want to ask? Bueller? Kana? Anything?
I have a question. Do you just leave well enough alone when somebody says, no, I'm not interested in a three-way call? Thanks. Do you follow up in a few months? Do you just let it be? When somebody flat out says to you, no, I'm not interested in doing a three-way call, what do you go to from there? And they're a customer. So like they're buying from you and you've done that line where you love our product. I'd love for you to hear about our business. No, thanks. Don't want to do a call. What's your advice from there?
I always let them lead themselves into it. So when I'm talking with them and I say, hey, what, the more you can get them talking, the better off you will be, because if you're the one sitting there doing all the talking, it's not going to go anywhere. So I usually ask them questions like, okay, so as far as the product, do you have any questions about anything? And the other transition I use too is, hey, here's the thing. I'm a referral-based business. So if you know anyone that's interested in the business, I have, I would love referrals. Part of what I did at the very beginning and what I have a lot of my new BPs do, I have a new BP, Jenny Bass. I don't know if she's on here, but she's awesome and very, very coachable. And she's like, how can I do three-way calls? How can I get people on the three-way calls? I said, find a couple of your closest friends. And whether you think they're going to do the business or they're not going to do the business, one, I want you comfortable doing them. Because some people are just nervous to transition into them so that they never do. Here's the other option. Text us N11. I get N11s from Tara. Not every week, but often. And I know she needs a three-way call ASAP. So what do I do as the sponsor? Call her. So then she doesn't have to transition into the three-way call. It's slick and it works. And then she's like, oh my gosh, here's Tanya. You totally need to hear her story. I'm going to put her on speaker real quick. And I go, hey, how's it going? And I can handle myself. So I just go right into my story real quick, ask them how they know each other, if she's sampled, blah, 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 and kind of get the lay of the land. And then from there, just say, man, whether this is for you or not, that's totally okay. But who do you know? And we go from there. Another thing I said to Jenny Bass, I said, hey, ask a couple of your friends. Say, here's the thing. I am not going to get good at this business, and I'm really not going to get to the level that I want to get to unless I learn how to do these calls really well. Would you do a practice call with me? And I would get friends on that way and just get them on the phone. And we never make it scary. I'm never like, so tell me right now, give them the burning bush moment where they have to make a decision or they're going to be doomed to poor skin for the rest of their life, and poor house lifestyle for the rest of their life. We don't do that. But I just figure out a way to get them talking the minute, Christy, they ask a question. You are taking the largest stupid pill you can find. You go, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I mean, I want to make sure I get you the right information. Hold on. You don't say it's a three-way call. You don't ask their permission. You know what? Hold on. I want to make sure I get you the right information. And I'm good in acting like, yeah, I don't even really know. Hold on. My friend Lisa will totally know that answer. And then I'll get Lisa Fitz on the phone, or I'll get, Tennille on the phone, or I'll get Brittany, or I'll get Kate, or I'll get whoever, just anyone other than me.
Right.
If you are doing all the talking, you're losing. You don't want to be doing the talking. You want to pique their interest to hear more information. After they want to hear more information, bam, expert.
Is N11 a common, you obviously know that.
All NMDs know it.
Okay.
N11. It's basically a Nerium 911.
That's cute. Okay. I love it.
That way we'll call you. And if you N11, like 3 upline, one of us will be able to do it right then and there.
Right. Love it. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? We good, y'all? Hi, Melissa Kenny. All right, that's good. Okay, Kate, wrap it up. You're good at tying up loose ends. God knows I'm a loose end.
Yeah, no, my eye's twitching, so clearly I'm not. Okay, guys, thanks for hopping on. Come find us in Dallas. If we don't see you, come find us. We want to see all of you in person.
Text us.
Yeah, text us. If you don't have a team dinner, we'll throw you into mine because guess what? Doesn't matter. But thanks for hopping on. Thanks for taking some time tonight and love to see all your faces. So have a great week. We'll see you in Dallas.
Get to Dallas safely, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.